Hello everybody, welcome into Talladega Superspeedway for the PGR Intimidator Superspeedway Series. Joining me in the booth tonight is Matthew Baker. We've seen him the last couple weeks. Baker, how you doing tonight?
Good to see you, buddy. I'm doing good.
Well, we have got some exciting things again for this race. I thought last week was going to be the most exciting version of this race we've seen in a while, and it didn't disappoint. But I think the main storyline that at least a decent amount of people that I'm assuming are watching tonight are going to be concerned about, and that's the rivalry battle between Larry McDonald and Michael Triscaro. We'll get more on that in just a moment, but before that, let's get to tonight's starting grid. Starting on the pole is going to be Dale Cup, Zachary Lima. He has his teammate Steve Korsek is outside. Third, Jason Maines. Sean Hill from McCall Motorsports starts in fourth. Ken McCall Jr. fifth. He's got a teammate Ron Morse Jr. to his outside in sixth. Moving back to row four, it's going to be Kevin Fraze and Garrett Maines. Ninth starts David Sheets. And the last Dale Cup teammate in the field tonight, Cody Nagel, starts 10th.
Moving back on to P11, you got Jeff Merck. In the number 28 car, you're going to have John Mullahan in P12. P13, Heath Job. P14, Jack Hignite. P15, we're going to have Danny Eshelman and Sean Corbett beside him. And P16, Richard Elliott and Jordan Adams. On down to Larry Mack. We'll be looking for him to maybe get an interview here with Michael Triscaro, talk to them both. Danny Barnes in P20. We got David Drohan and Philip Wilkinson in P22.
23rd is going to be Art Greco. 24th, Evan Larson. 25th, one of the newer drivers tonight for the PGR Super Speedway Series. That's going to be Sean English. Dylan Jones, Daniel Eberhardt's wingman, starts in 26th, and it's going to be one of the fan favorites. That's Braxton DeWeese in 27th. John Ward from McCall Motorsports in 28th. 29th, Michael Triscaro, the other side of that rivalry battle tonight. 30th is going to be another Team PGR driver, Mike Davenport. And the last truck in the field is going to be William H. Scott in the 21 machine. And now we're going to get down trackside. And before we get a couple guys in the booth, give us a rundown on what we're looking for this race, Baker.
We're looking at 60% fuel tonight. Looks like we're going to get around 19 to 18 laps. I'll go back in the calculator to look. 45 laps here, so you're going to at least get one stop, probably two, if I'm looking at it right. Look for the Maines boys to pit either really early or very, very late into the first run. Try and split the fuel to get down to one can on the last stop.
And we did bring in Larry McDonald and Michael Triscaro. Just going to get a quick word with these two guys, but first let's start with Larry McDonald. Larry, you got a copy?
Yep, we're hell good.
Well, you're starting on the better end of this right now because if you win tonight, you win the rivalry and you take home the money. What's the game plan?
I think just stick to what we do best, and that's work together with my team to get to the front, and then we'll start the team betting after this, hopefully, and do some qualifying bets with Triscaro's team and race bets, and just continue, the rivalry.
All right, thank you. And now we'll go to Michael Triscaro, the other man in the battle. Michael, you got a copy?
That I do.
All right, well, you're kind of the guy coming in as the underdog right now because you're going to have to win 2 in a row. But we know before you can win 2, you're going to have to, well, not win tonight, but you know what I mean, beat Larry McDonald. So what's your game plan?
My game plan is to win this race, man. I'm in kind of a little drought right now. So my plan is to get to the front, stay in the front, win the race, and not worry about racing Larry, to be honest.
All right, well, thank you, too. Good luck tonight, and we'll see who can prevail.
All right, good luck, guys. Good luck, Larry. Thank you.
And as we send them back, we now send it down trackside. Here we go. Pace car pulls off. Zachary Lima and Steve Korsek. And then it is going to be Jason Maines and Sean Hill. We'll see how quick, or I guess I should say how long before we get that third line going. It's not going to take very long. But as they roll into the Geico restart zone, green flag is in the air. We're racing at Talladega.
good even start side by side between Lima and Corsic. I can see Merck hop back about 6 cars back to the top. Main's looking to split it 3 wide already. It's going to get racy very, very quick. It's good to see Kenneth out here pushing on the bottom lane with Jason and Dale Cup teammates running side by side going down to the backstretch.
And as everybody remains side by side here, getting ready to pull out of turn 2, quick info on the weather as we didn't talk about it. Winds are at 4 miles an hour, currently at 70 degrees, but they are varying. Looking like temperature outside, 77 degrees, 43% humidity, partly cloudy skies, and the track temp at 119. A little toasty. I don't think it's going to give these guys too many handling issues, but sure enough, here we go. We're already going to see that third lane start to get working. It's Cody Nagels. Kevin Fraze to his inside. He is not getting any help right now, but it looks like that 60 truck of Jeff Merck is thinking about joining him up top.
And it's just as you were saying that, there goes Garrett up top with Kevin. They're going to make it 3 wide. It's going to get racy very fast. Jason's bailing out on the bottom. Dale Cup teammate's going to line up on the bottom. Ken's going to roll right to him. It's going to be 3 by 3, 3 rows deep, probably 4 here soon.
And another important thing to remember here tonight is that there is a stage break on lap 15. That means the caution will be through on the start of lap 16, and the top 2 at that stage break get their money back. We talked about it last week. It kind of gives you the opportunity, if you get those top 2 positions at the stage, you don't have to really worry about getting in an accident the rest of the way. You can just race hard because no matter what, you're guaranteed to get your money back. But right now, looking like all these guys are racing as if it's the end. They are 3 by 3 up front. Garrett Maines up top, Sean Hill in the middle, and Steve Korsak down low.
Looking at everyone's connections tonight, looks like Kevin's connection to Garrett's really good. He's got a little wobble going into the turn, but look for them to be the best pusher on Garrett's bumper today. Oh, they're getting real squirrely in the middle. Hill's gonna have to bail out of the throttle. The top's gonna roll here. Middle's checking up hard. Garrett and Kevin are gonna clear to the middle. They're gonna hang out Cody here, and Jason's gonna get in line with Cody, try and tuck up to him here on the top lane. Dale Cup teammates still leading the bottom.
That really broke up the field quite a bit for a second, and some of the guys that really needed to stay up there to keep some of these heavy hitters, such as Garrett Maines and Kevin Fraze, out of the front, are going to fall back. We're going to see, I think Sean is going to try to regroup. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets enough of a run to see him jump out in front of this 6 truck. It's looking like he's got it now. And will he take it, or does he stay in line? He does have a teammate behind him. That's Ron Morse Jr. And if he wanted anything, it's too late now. Going to slam the door on any shot there. Let's go back here and take a look. I know it's early, but the rivalry battle between Larry McDonald and Michael Triscaro. Larry McDonald currently sits in 21st position. Michael Triscaro not too far back at 24th. In fact, you can see them both in the same camera angle, so they are already trying to get right to it here early.
And they are racing hard up front. I would say 4 or 5 months ago, track position didn't really mean much in the super speedway races, but you get 10 or 12 cars up there that know what they're doing. Track position is everything, especially in these trucks. Once you get 3 by 3, it's basically gridlock until someone makes a bobble in the middle or the bottom lane.
And I feel like that's just partially the skill level of all these guys that we see in money racing now has risen so much. Just as you mentioned with that gridlock, you think you can you get a run from the draft, you think you can go somewhere, but when they're 3 wide, sometimes even 4 wide, and there's nowhere to go, then all you got to do is sit in line and patiently hope that you can shuffle your way to the front. And that's why we see some of these guys such as Steve Korsak, Garrett Maines, getting as aggressive as they do early. Cody Nagels, he started pretty far back, but he knows that no one's going to take that 3rd lane too early. So he says, I will do it myself. And Jason Maines continues to push on his back bumper. They are joined by Jeff Merck. I thought that lane would make it to the front so far, but they haven't quite got there. They do still have about 10, actually 11 laps right now until we're going to get that stage break.
Looking at the track temp, it tails the tape for why their outside's not rolling as good as it should on the initial restart. Track temp's at 121, so it's a little hot. A little hotter up there up top. These trucks definitely get hot quick when you're running that 3rd lane. What's going to even it out, though, is throughout the run, the tires are going to start to go in the bottom and the middle lane, and the top's going to start to roll a lot better.
Now let's take a ride on board here with one of these guys. In fact, let's ride with your current leader on the bottom, and that is Steve Korsak, one of the fastest qualifiers. And being that fast in qualifying helps him hold a very steady wheel here in the main pack. But it's kind of funny because sometimes we know there's certain guys that'll be good at qualifying, not that good in the race. Not the case for any of these Dale Cup drivers. In fact, they have all of their drivers inside the top 5 right now. Looking up top here, we take a ride on board with Cody Nagels. And you see when he's in this top line, you would think he'd be above that white line, but you can't. You have to stay on the door of the truck to your inside. It's the only way you're going to stick with him in the turns. And then as they get on the straightaway, he gets a big shot from Jason Maines, who's trying to push him to the lead.
absolutely great racing up front here. We're 3x3, 6 rows, 7 rows deep, almost 8 rows deep. They are wanting to get to the front and get, you know, that $20 is important, man, because you can make that money early. Then you got just lottery, you got house money to play with when you're coming to the win, and you can really send it.
Exactly right, and it's a top 5 payout tonight as well for the end. I believe it's the top 3 go home with $100, and we had the showing that we needed. Actually, we had one extra to meet that payout, so whatever the payouts were stated on the poster is what these guys will be going home with. 7 laps completed of the 45 so far here tonight. Your current top 5 as they go is going to be Steve Corset, Garrett Maines, Cody Nagels. Those are all 3 trucks on the front line, and then after them, it is going to be Kevin Fraze and Jason Maines. Looking back a little further in the pack, actually, let's go more to the back of the pack. This is where we see those split strategies. These are the guys that are going to sit back. They don't really care so much about this stage when they just do not want to get involved in anything. And real quick note, it looks like Evan Larson is actually not out on track right now. I'm not sure if he had an issue, but just something to note. John Ward is the last truck running right now. He currently sits in 30th position, and he is not with the lead pack, so that stage caution is going to save him.
Absolutely. And you can see the Dale Cup boys trying to side draft from the middle lane. Steve moves up about half a lane, kills the run on the bottom, keeps him even with him, and he's able to gain momentum on the corner. What it's doing, though, is it's killing that top lane. Cody has been getting a couple runs, but once it stalls out the middle, it stalls out the top. As you can see, Steve moving up again. They are tight door-to-door, 3x3, 9 rows deep. This is amazing racing. Great racing out here by the PGR guys.
It really is. We saw, I think it was a week ago, it might have been either last week or the week before. It was similar racing, but these guys did not have a fast pair, which they do tonight. And we had a couple big wrecks, and unfortunately it cleaned out the field on what was going to be a heck of a race. So with everybody having that fast pair tonight, they picked up right where they left off, staying aggressive, staying 3x3. And look at the 4th truck on that outside line. Guess who it is? It's Michael Triscaro. He is now ahead by a handful plus a couple more positions over Larry McDonald in the 80 truck, who currently sits behind Danny Barnes in the middle line.
And I think Larry's just waiting. And being in the middle line's a little dicey this early on, being that far back, but I don't think they're fighting for anything for the stage. I think he just wants to save his truck towards the end, but these guys are running great up front, 3x3. Looks like the top lane's got a little bit of a run. It's going to stall out here. Garrett's going to get the run back and be at the lead at the corner exit, but great racing.
Cody Nagels made his way. He's actually up right now. And actually, we just had the stat. I do apologize. 5 spots from where he started, but as he gains a couple more, it would actually be 4. So he's up about 9 spots from where he started. Didn't have the best qualifying effort, but he got aggressive early, and it is sure paying off. I'll tell you what, though. It seems like when you're out in the front in these races, each lap feels so slow because you have to hold the steadiest, the tightest wheel, because you know if you're not that guy behind you who's going to go from wanting to push you to maybe trying to find a way to split you. But right now, with that top line really holding everybody tight, I don't think we're going to see any 4th lane get going just yet. We might see it later in the run, but as we will be coming to 5 to go next time for the stage, everybody's kind of sitting where they're set right now, and it is just going to be a push to the line.
Yeah, I go back on the fuel strategy thing. I think everyone's going to try and run out and get the money here. No one's going to undercut it unless they're 10th on back. They can undercut, get some fuel in, and swap the track position, but I think these front 10 are going to stay up here and push for everything they got. And to go back on the 4-wide thing, that's definitely going to happen after the stage break, and it's going to happen fast. As soon as these front runners get put in the back because of the track position getting swapped, that 4-wide is going to happen immediately.
It looks like Larry McDonald has fallen back a bit. We're going to have to give a couple of these guys a shout out that are sitting in the back, but let's start with one of them that I haven't seen out here in a while. It's good to see him back out here. That is Braxton Deweese, the driver out of Miamisburg, Ohio. He usually brings a pretty good fan base, but I've seen this strategy played by Braxton before. He likes to sit in the back until it's go time, but he will certainly be that first car to jump out of line. Is up front there in that camera view. You saw it look like one of the mains. I think it might have been Jason Maines. Maybe just gave a little kiss to that outside wall, but they all keep it together and keep going.
Now, Merck's making sure he's on the back bumper of Cody, not sandbagging for Garrett here for the stage, so he's going to be tucked up to him all the way to the end.
And it's kind of amazing. You know, we'll see. It depends on who's leading throughout the race, but these guys that are leading right now, I mean, you look at each one of those rows, the first 2 trucks, they can all push each other, even in the corners. That's a hard thing to do here, but as the race goes on, we'll see some different guys up here, different mix. And if it's not 2 of your teammates or 2 guys that you really trust behind you, we may not see that pushing in the corners, and that is where we're going to see either that middle or outside line have a chance to really prevail. But right now, the inside and the middle looking strong. Cody Nagels waiting for a push from Jason Maines. Garrett and Steve stay side by side into turn 3, and we are coming to 3 laps to go next time in stage 1.
I'm watching Lima and Steve on the bottom whenever they're coming down the backstretch. Looks like they're running half a lane up. Watch for Kenneth to maybe try and stick his nose in there and try and get under him and make it 4 wide. He's got David Sheets right behind him, so he's going to have an immediate pusher. It could really shuffle things up and get that top and middle lane clear at the bottom 2 lines.
Another important thing to note for all these guys here on a day like this, you know, that track temp had actually gone up since we started. It's cooled down a little bit, now showing at 114, now 113. But you got to really manage your temps. Not only is tire wear going to be an issue where we think that top line's going to start rolling, but you can't just stick to the guy's bumper the whole run. If you do, you're going to blow that motor up. And you do not want to blow up in the middle of the pack. That usually causes a big wreck, which we are probably going to see at some point tonight. But right now, everybody's staying pretty tucked together. A lot of hard racing here early. Out back, the strategy is still... You tell you what, these guys haven't dropped as far back as I thought they would. Looks like after about the first 20 positions or so, they start to single file out. Actually, we're going to have one come to pit road here. Can't tell exactly who this is. We'll find out in just a moment. It looks like it is going to be the 21 truck. And that's William Scott. Not sure why he's on pit road here, if he's got an issue or if he's trying to play some strategy. But, oh, he's going to miss his box here as well, which is not going to help his case. And as we go back up front, though, they've actually, looks like, gone to 2 wide, at least for the first 2 rows. That would give Kevin Fraze a chance to jump out, but he's working with Garrett Maines. So he's going to stay happily tucked in line. Sean Hill pushing them, and on the outside, here comes Cody Nagels.
And everyone has been saving temps. It's going to come down to this last lap of the stage break. These guys are going to be pushing for everything they got. I'm looking for Kevin and Garrett to prevail, but Lima and Korosek have a good shot if Kenny stays tucked up on the bottom.
Yeah, and I'm looking to see if anybody tried to make their way up here that was maybe hanging back. We see David Sheets on the bottom, John Mullahan, Ken McCall Jr. Those are a couple of the guys that maybe not as well known for being the absolute top of the top, but they're known for being some of the best in terms of super speedway racing. And they are out here getting it done, staying up here. If you are sitting in the back right now, you might as well just stay there. If you are up front, I think you fight and claw for every position you can get right now. I think I like Michael Triscaro staying aggressive right now. It seems like that is the preferred strategy. But as we know, if they wreck and he gets involved, then he's going to be in a lot of trouble. This is the white flag lap for the stage. And as they go down the backstretch, they remain 3 wide. Garrett Maines pokes out for just a second. But now both of the outside and outside and middle are going to fall to the inside. Steve Korosek gearing up for one more run. Now Jeff Merck's going to dare take it 4 wide. That is really going to hurt the 3rd lane into the tri-oval. Looking like the middle and the bottom might have this thing wrapped up. One more push from Kevin Fraze. We got a couple in the pits. It's going to be a side-by-side finish after the line, and it is going to go to, I don't know.
I think it's Steve. Steve by a nose. I think Steve, Cody, then Garrett.
Man, that was close.
It looks like we got top 5 run out as Steve, Garrett, Cody, Zach, and Kevin. What a finish. That was awesome.
And these guys are going at it early, and I do apologize here. We're going to get this back to full screen for everybody. But, man, this will give everybody a chance to catch their breath. Things got crazy. I'll tell you what we're going to do here. Well, actually, first, before we do anything, let's go back and take a look at this finish. I thought when they got broken up, they were all going to spread out, but they stayed pretty tucked together, and that was a lot closer at the line than I thought it was going to be.
Absolutely, and Steve got it. I mean, Steve even got squirrely on the bottom and still beat Garrett to the line. That was an amazing push from Zach through the corner to get him, or through the tri-oval to get him that stage win. It was close, but I mean, like I said if Ken stayed tucked up to the bottom lane, he had a good shot.
And they looked 4 wide. I'll tell you what, if it wasn't Zachary Lima that was behind Steve Korosek, I think they were going to go 3 wide. But of course, his teammate, he's not going to do that to him. But show you the finisher. We're trying to get it on the right frame, but looks like that's as close as we're going to get, and that's what it looks like. It looks like Steve Korosek, Garrett Maines, Cody Nagels top 3, but only Garrett Maines and Steve Korosek are going to get paid. Let's go now. We're going to take a quick break. We will, of course, stay side by side so you don't miss a thing, but when we come back, we're going to talk to your stage winner, and then we are going to talk to the man leading the battle right now, the rivalry battle. That's Michael Triscaro. Stick with us. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway, where we have found Steve Korsak. We're going to see if we get a quick word with him. Steve, this is all set up in the booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha.
Well, you and Lima, and actually Cody as well, so make that Olivedale Cup is looking really strong here early. You guys were all at the front. Looks like maybe you're not going to be starting first here, but you are still going to have Lima and Cody around you. Are you guys trying to go to the front immediately here, and is there going to be any pit stops for the rest of the way?
Well, I can't reveal our strategy, but we definitely want to stay up front here. So keep an eye out for us at the end, hopefully.
Well, we won't ask you about strategy then. What I do want to talk to you about is we saw that the track temp was a little hotter than usual, and it looked like coming to the line there, Lima gave you about all you could handle. How's the truck feeling?
Yeah, the truck feels good. I got a little loose in the tri-oval, but we got it back up. We still carry momentum, so I'll take it.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks for giving us a quick word, and hopefully you can bring home the rest of the money tonight.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, and that is Steve Korsak. I'm going to hop back over here to see if we can get a word with Michael Triscaro. I believe Matthew Baker's with him now.
Michael, this is Matt and Austin up in the booth. You got us?
I got you, boys.
Well, that was some crazy racing up there. Looks like you were trying to be aggressive, get that top line rolling. What else do you need to do to get to the front, crack that top 10?
Yeah, man, it got the top line rolling. I think we're going to have to make a fourth lane tonight. These guys up front, Steve, Garrett, Cody, Jason, they're holding steady up there. It's hard to get around them, so I'm ready to push four wide here at the end of the race. Hopefully I can get some takers, because that's what it's going to take to beat these guys.
Well, you don't have to look any further than Jeff Merck. You get hooked up with him, he'll go four wide with anyone, so look for him.
Well,
I think you'll have a good shot, but you're running really good, staying ahead of Larry. What's the key to get the victory here?
Yeah, man. Beat Larry. I think just take care of my truck here. I know we got one fast repair. Obviously, no one's really used it yet, but I think if I just get to the front and stay clear of the wrecks, that'll get me the win over him, and hopefully have a chance in the last lap for the race win.
All right. Well, that was Michael Triscaro, running a great race so far. Hopefully, you can pull out the victory over Larry. Good job, man.
Thank you.
And, I mean, we talked to a couple guys. I was over there. I know you couldn't hear me talking to him, Baker, but I was talking to Steve, and he said he couldn't reveal his strategy, but the way it sounds like, of course, there are going to be, I would assume, at least one more pit stop with the amount of fuel that these trucks are carrying tonight. Wasn't it? I believe it was 60% fuel.
Absolutely, yeah, 60%. Let me get the calculator out, and I'll run some numbers for us here.
So everyone should have to pit again. Your current top five, though, for this restart is going to be Danny Esselman first, Steve Korsak second, third, Garrett Maines fourth, Cody Nagels, and fifth is going to be Zachary Lima. But let's go a little bit further back where you'll find Kevin Frase sixth, Sean Hill seventh, Ken McCall Jr. eighth, David Sheets ninth, and John Mullahan rounding out the top 10. And I'll tell you what, we just read off three McCall Motorsports drivers in Sean Hill, Ken McCall Jr., and David Sheets. They haven't made too much noise yet, but they have been hanging around the top 10. And I think now it might be go time. Another driver that's looking like they might be ready to go is the 8 truck of Braxton DeWeese. He is up 11 spots from where he started. Heath Job in 17th, currently down 4 spots from where he started, but one of the drivers that I don't believe has a team, and he showed us a lot of impressive stuff last week. We'll see what he can do tonight. Sean Corbett, he's out here in 19th. Philip Wilkinson in 20th. Looks like David Drohan in 21st. Danny Barnes 22nd. Art Greco 23rd. Larry McDonald 24th. Going down to a couple of these other guys that we're not used to seeing. Looks like Jordan Adams currently sits in 26th. Dylan Jones 27th. Richard Elliott 28th. And William Scott, who we saw pit, currently sitting 30th. I'll tell you what, real quick, before we get to this restart, looks like we still have everybody but the one truck that's out of the race, and that being Evan Larson on the lead lap. So for 20 laps into this event, for everyone to still be on the lead lap, that's pretty good. That's what we like to see, and that's going to make the racing real crazy here.
Absolutely. The pace car is going to pull down. Looks like Danny's the only one who swapped the fuel strategy side of it and pit early, so he's going to lead on the bottom lane here. He'll bring us back to green flag as they're approaching the restart zone. And the green flag is in the air. Another good even start, top and bottom. Looks a little squirrely on the bottom. Garrett's giving him a good push. Zach's getting him to him. Going back to that fuel strategy thing, so it looks like it's going to be 17 laps, max 16 laps at worst, leading if you're leading. So I think Danny's going to be about 2 laps short of that, so he should be fine on a one-stop strategy. Everyone will be on a one-stop strategy. It's just who's going to get that one can stop and who can get out of the pit box the quickest.
And I'll tell you what, if you're Danny Esterman right here, you got to be really careful. You know you got a Coca-Cola Series driver sitting behind you, and you know he wants to pounce. He is looking for an opportunity here to get in front of Danny, and he might get it right here if they can clear Steve Korsak, but they can't quite do it. Steve's going to really lean on the right rear of Garrett Maines, gets that big side draft, and now he's going to get a run down the front stretch. They still stay 2x2 here, but how long is it going to last?
And last night, Danny got pushed to the win by Garrett, so he's trusting in Garrett. Garrett's a great pusher, and if he's stuck in a situation where he's going to have to push for it, that's the guy I want behind me if he's not going to clear up.
And I'm looking back here at that big break, and you see it there between those top three, and I can't figure out exactly who this is, but it looks like it's the, is that the 002? I'm not sure exactly who that is.
Oh, they're shuffling up front. They're going to hang out Danny on the top side. Danny's going to fall way back here.
And that is what you kind of knew was going to happen sooner or later. And it looks like Steve Korsak's going to get clear. He brings Cody Nagels down with him. And now all they're looking to do is get the trio. That would mean getting Zachary Lima down as well. I see Michael Triscaro looking 3 wide. Further back, Larry McDonald is sitting behind him by about 10 positions. But I think Larry is playing the strategy that you mentioned earlier, just sitting around right now, not doing anything too aggressive, trying to play it safe. But I'll tell you who's not playing it safe. That's the 88 truck of Heath Jobe. He is now up 2 spots from where he started, up more than that from when we just talked about him. He currently sits in 11th, and he is right there in the mix as Michael Triscaro looks to his outside.
Nice to see some new faces out here. Jack Hignite looking to ignite the high line here. I'm looking for him to pull up with the 45 to the top lane. He's been running really well, great line. I think he can go to the third line and make it work here with Sean.
And we know how important teams are, and that's part of the reason that Michael Triscaro is really not getting much help right now. He doesn't have any of his Team PGR teammates in that outside line with him, and you can believe that just about everybody else around him already has their own teammates that they're focusing on, so they are not going to give him the time of day. But just as I say that, Dylan Jones, who doesn't have Daniel Eberhard here tonight, he is going to take the risk. He jumps to the outside, and once you start getting a couple trucks, you'll get a couple more, and eventually you'll have that third line working.
Oh, he just got the best help he could get in Dylan Jones, one of the best pushers in the game, best connections in the game. He's going to go fly. And look behind them, who's going to try and get up with Michael? Larry McDonald.
And Larry McDonald, I think he's starting to realize, ooh, Sean Corbett in the 45. He's got to be careful. Really slams the door there on the 34. Michael Triscaro. Boy, that got really close, but it looks like everybody's going to hold on to it. And if you are in that middle or bottom line, you better keep a straight wheel because that third lane now has more than 3 trucks, and they are making a run to the front. I think Larry McDonald, though, realized Michael Triscaro is getting aggressive. He wants it tonight, and Larry said, all right, well, if you're going to get aggressive, I'll get aggressive, and he is going to jump to that third line, try to see if he can get himself a couple positions.
Oh, man, there's action all over the track. The 3 wide back there, and then up front 2x2. They may just be 2x2, but they are on each other's doors. Teammates on the bottom, teammates on the top, getting support from the Dale Cup behind Garrett and Kevin, and then you got Danny behind the 2 Dale Cup boys. I think why you're seeing everyone fight so hard up front right now and side drafting, they're trying to clear to the bottom and get their teammates lined up. You're about 3 laps away from the fuel window opening up, and you can pit and get away from this mayhem. You can put a real dent in the field if you get a good stop.
I just realized I think I was muted for my last transmission, but I was just talking about how we know that the big one is going to strike at some point, and you want to avoid it. And as you just pointed out, everybody's fighting for that track position up front, and they do usually say the safest place to be here at a super speedway is in front. Of course, you're going to have to fend off a move on the last lap, but you have the best shot at avoiding the big wreck. But still 3x3, Michael Triscaro leading the outside, Garrett Maines in the middle, and Steve Korsak on the bottom. Let's talk about this guy right here, the man that is sitting second on the middle. He has been there just about the whole night, and that is Kevin Fraze. He is working with Jason and Garrett Maines, and one of the most calm guys that you'll meet outside of racing. Once you get on the track, he's probably one of the most aggressive.
Absolutely, and there goes Garrett. He's going to clear down to the bottom. Steve's going to give him a push. I really don't know what's going to happen here. I think Steve's going to push him very, very hard through the corner, try and clear back up, get in front of Kevin. It's going to split those teammates up. And what's that going to do? It's going to give that top line that run if they can get some more cars up behind there organized.
And I'll tell you what, I think if it's anybody else, ooh, that got really, really tight for a second. Steve is trying to force a fourth lane here. It looks like he would have
they're wrecking out back.
Oh.
Larry's involved in it, middle of the pack. Sean Hill, Heath Job, big wreck out back, sliding down to the infield.
And we are trying to get back to it now. And the 77 starts to roll. We didn't get that one on camera, but we will be going back to take a look at it. Oh, we still got guys doing donuts back here. But I'll tell you what, just before what we saw, it might have been for the best because they looked like they were about to wreck up front. I think Steve Korosek was trying everything to get a fourth lane going, but Garrett was not having any of it.
Absolutely, and that stacked up the bottom lane and it just pushed the pusher. It looks like the 28 of Mollahan hooks McCullough into Larry, and the mayhem behind us ensues. Looks about 4 cars with real bad damage involved there.
And I'm not saying this to diss anybody, I promise, so hopefully nobody gets upset about it. Just noting that I do think that's the second week now that the 28 has kind of been the lead cause. Of course, this one, nothing he could necessarily help. It was a checkup. But Ken McCall Jr. probably not too happy about that. He was having a good run, and as you pointed out, the guy that's been more aggressive tonight, Michael Triscaro, he got through it. The guy that was trying to play conservative, he did not get through it. So that is going to change a couple things up. Larry McDonald did get spun. Let's see if he hits anything here. Ooh, that's actually, he's got pretty good front end damage. Ooh, and he's going to back this thing hard into that inside wall as well. And he got tagged beforehand. Yeah, it's going to be a fast pair for that 80 truck for sure.
And I don't think Steve was looking 4 wide. If you go back a little bit further, Steve looks like he goes to give Garrett a shot to come down the backstretch, and he's lined up square on him. It just hooks him down towards the apron. He has to let off, and the checkups happen. He tries to get lined back up, but that checkup already starts. You can see that wrecks start way, way, way before they actually happen. I mean, the checkup was out of the corner, and it took probably 4 or 5 seconds for it to trickle all the way back to Mollahan.
Yeah, so like I said, not putting on any shade on Mollahan, just noted that. But, of course, checkups, nothing you can do. But let's go back now to what was right before that. And that was the incident that you just pointed out. Well, not incident, almost incident, I guess, if you will, with Garrett Maines and Steve Korosek. These two were just trying to help each other. And let's watch this from the chopper view real quick, and you'll see that push. Remember, these guys are good enough where they can push to the corner, but the odd thing about this, Baker, is it looks like it almost started out of turn 2, and it just kind of carried like that down the whole backstretch.
Yeah, it just looks like he didn't, the iRacing, it bases off connections every time you load into the sim, and sometimes the connections are good, sometimes they're not. I mean, he's lined up square there. He did nothing wrong there. All he's trying to do is keep that momentum going, and it just hooked him a little bit, and it's super speedway racing,
Well, one of the things, I don't think I noted this because they started wrecking as I was about to, but what we saw there when the 31 dropped low, normally he's not making that move if it's anybody else on the inside, at least I wouldn't think. But of course, Dale Cup had all their guys lined up, and Garrett knows that. And he knows that if he can drop to the bottom, he's given one of his teammates, Kevin, a chance to not only cool off, but control 2 lanes now instead of just 1.
Looks like John Ward got a speeding penalty there. He's going to fall to the back.
And John had kind of been sitting towards the back. That is one of the McCall Motorsports drivers, but yeah, he did gain some track position, so that penalty is going to hurt as the 92 falls to the back. It is going to be a 17-lap restart. Nope, 16. It looks like they should be getting the 1 to go this next time.
Gloves are off now. It's not a fuel race anymore. It's going to be 4 wide when the green flag drops.
Well, I mean, I know you did the numbers, so I'm not second guessing here, but we're seeing these guys on the apron saving. It looks like actually that's right on board here with Garrett.
Yeah, and they're thinking, maybe they get a long run here, and then the caution comes out with 2 to go. They're not going to have enough for an extra green light checker. That'd be the only reason I'd save fuel. I mean, I'm constantly saving fuel no matter what the situation is. The more fuel, the better. It gets the spoiler out of the air, makes the truck faster, and you're always rolling.
And as they run right now, your top 5 starting, would be Garrett Maines, followed by Zachary Lima on the outside. Kevin Fraze third, Steve Korsek fourth, and Cody Nagels fifth. Of course, they do have the choice to pick whatever lane, but I got to think Garrett's going to pick low here. You would think at least, because that would line Kevin Fraze up behind him. Sixth place is going to be Michael Triscaro, and right now he is not looking for Larry McDonald because he is way back in 24th. And the bad news for Larry is he is going to have to be aggressive, but at the same time, he's got to be careful because he doesn't have a fast car anymore, as he did have to use that. Dylan Jones sitting 7th. It's going to be Jack Hignett. I believe it's actually Hignite currently sitting in 8th. And this is, I believe this is his first time out here in that upside down 20 machine. And that's a good looking paint scheme. But this is a good run for a guy that I got to assume doesn't have any teammates out here as well. He is up 6 spots from where he started. So is Philip Wilkinson in 9th. John Mullahan currently sits 10th. Sean Corbett 11th. David Sheets 12th. Braxton DeWeese in 13th. Mike Davenport 14th. William H. Scott, he's recovered nicely up to 15th. And it's going to be Danny Barnes 16th, Jordan Adams 17th, Art Greco 18th, Ron Morse Jr. and his teammate Sean Hill rounding out the top 20. John Ward looks like he's back to 21st for now. Jason Maines 22nd. He's got a lot of work to do. So does Danny Esselman 24th, Sean English 25th, Larry McDonald 26th, Richard Elliott 27th, Jeff Merck 28th, Heath Job 29th, Ken McCall Jr. And 30th is going to be David Drowan, who looks like he is just now making his way back out on track. But it looks like we don't have anyone a lap down just yet, which is still a good thing here on with 17 to go.
Yeah, it's been great racing. It's a lot of fun to watch. The 3-wide has been spectacular, but you're really going to look for these front 4 to stay locked in. But Michael Triscaro is right there, and he said he was going to be aggressive. He said he was going to take it to the top lane no matter how many lanes it took. And he's making it work right now. It's a lot of fun to watch.
And as a driver on track, what I'm about to explain to you next, it can frustrate you, but as a spectator, boy, it's fun to watch. And that is the games that I think are about to start between Kevin Fraze and Garrett Maines and battling those Dale Cup drivers, because that is the 2 biggest teams up front right now. And who does Dylan Jones go with? Same deal with Michael Triscaro. Does he try to get that 3rd lane going right away? Or does he feel comfortable where he's at right now and try to get some laps ticked off, maybe avoid another wreck if he can?
I think he's going to go up high and he's going to just send it. He's going for the win here. You heard him. He's going for it. As the green flag is going to come out here. Garrett's leading on the bottom line with Kevin. Teammates who lined up on top and on bottom. Look for Cody to maybe try and find a gap to get up top and hang out those boys. As I say that, there he goes.
There he goes.
Swap as well.
Exactly. I was just going to say, watch this outside have a lot of momentum. Dylan Jones on the bottom. Does Cody Nagels try to block it to get a little bit more of a run? I think maybe he drops the bottom for a second. Now we see Garrett Maines go up top. Does Zachary Lima stay behind? He does. I thought maybe he would take it 3rd lane, but for now he's going to try to push that 31 by Kevin Fraze. And this is showing that strategy because they are trying to hang out Kevin Fraze. Garrett Maines right now has got to be a sit and duck. Does he try to throw a block here into turn 3? Zachary Lima not low yet. He's waiting. Now he dives low, and he's going to get help from his teammate, Steve Korsek.
What a great move from the Dale Cup boys as they get a little squirrely on the apron, but they're fine. They're pushing good. Steve doesn't go up to the top lane. This is great racing. Zach's going up to the top lane. Blocking is going on everywhere, on the teammates, on other drivers. This is amazing racing going on up front as you see Dylan and Kevin line up. What I saw from Garrett there coming out of 2 was him blocking to the top lane to maybe pull Dylan back in line as you see contact back in the pack with Sean Hill.
Boy, these guys have me sitting on the edge of my seat right now. I was waiting to see if the 27 was going to hold on right there. He did as Lima tried to get up with him. I don't know if I like that move, though, because they would have had Kevin Fraze under wraps, too. But now Kevin Fraze is leading that inside, and he has Dylan Jones, who I think might stick there with him. Meanwhile, up top, John Mullahan is looking to pull that group of trucks sitting further. Oh, one in the wall. That's going to be, I believe, Sean Corbett. We got a couple around. This is going to draw the caution. Oh, big wreck. We got one up in the fence. Caution is out, and this is the big one. And guess who's in this one as well? It's going to be Larry McDonald.
Larry McDonald, Jeff Merck, Jason Maines, the big ones happening right now. Sean English, Heath Job, Richard Elliott. Big wreck. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if that was Netco. Let's go back and look at that.
Let's go back and look at it. The first truck I saw get sideways, I believe, was indeed that 45 of Sean Corbett. And sure enough, it looks like, looking back, yep, that is going to be the first truck to go sideways. And from this view, it looks like he may have drove down into the 77. Let's play it real slow here. You see they're going to get 3 wide here, and Yep, looks like Sean Corbett kind of gets down into the door there of Sean Hill. That sends that 45 machine back up into the outside wall, and from this point, it's on. You see the 26 and nowhere to go. The 16, Jason Maines, he gets in it. The 60's trying to check up. He gets ran over by Danny Esterman. There's Larry McDonald. He was trying to get by on the bottom. Not going to be able to do it. Heath Job, and then just a lot of these guys piling in as a result of that big wreck. I did see, oh, wow, we had one get up in the air here. Can't tell who that is. My goodness. It might have been, was that Philip Wilkinson? It's that white and red truck again. We have a lot of new guys out here tonight, so some of them. No, that was Heath Job. I'll tell you what, that's exactly that was. Let's take a ride on board here with Heath. He went for a wild ride. Oh man, he almost got through it too. One of the drivers that I think did get through it on the other side of that was Danny Barnes. Let's ride on board with him next. See this crazy wreck. Oh, and we'll back that up because he had already got through it at that point. Oh, and sure enough, he's going to drive right through this. Watch this. Wow, boy, it does not get much closer than that. The 7 escapes danger. He has been getting better and better at doing that each week. This is going to shuffle just a couple things up. Not really too much up front, though. Kevin Fraze is your current leader. Zachary Lima second. Dylan Jones up 23 positions from where he started, currently in third. Steve Korsek fourth. Garrett Maines rounding out the top 5. It's going to be William Scott in 6th. He is up 25 positions from where he started. Cody Nagel 7th. Michael Triscaro 8th. And I think he may have this thing locked up. Bearing he doesn't get in a wreck at this point. Braxton DeWeese now broken into the top 10. He currently sits in 9th, up 18 spots from where he started. And Mike Davenport up 20 from where he started. So we kind of have an inversion on the field here late, Baker. I mean, this is a lot of guys that were sitting in the back earlier, and here they are up here ready to go at it.
Yeah, and I'm looking none other than Braxton DeWeese to cause some mayhem, get up front, lead some laps. Even as a solo truck, he's one of the best solo trucks out here. He'll probably work with William well, try and get up front with Michael. Michael's going to be his best friend here, trying to get to the front and get away from these teammates.
Taking a quick look here at Larry McDonald, currently sitting on pit road, still doing repairs. We'll see, crazier things have happened here, but right now with what's only going to be, it looks like 11 to go for the restart. I don't know if that 80 truck's going to have enough time, even if he gets back out here, to get past the 34, Michael Triscaro. And if that's the case, it would send us into next week, where the winner will be decided. It'll be whoever gets the best finish of that race. A couple quick reminders while we are under caution here. And that is the first reminder. Let's go to where we head next. Here on Ghost Racing Network, it is going to be the NOMA Truck Series. On Saturday, they go to Michigan. The big D-shaped oval is going to have a lot of high-banked fast action. We'll see some bump drafting too as well, but make sure you don't miss out. I believe that race starts somewhere around 10 o'clock. We will have that up. And speaking of being able to know when the races start, go check out Ghost Racing Network's Discord, which we do have in the description and in the chat if you scroll up. We certainly appreciate everybody checking it out. Back live, though, here at Talladega Superspeedway, where we are starting to come to the conclusion of the PGR Blaster 120 for the PGR Intimidator Superspeedway Series. And can Kevin Fraze hold him off? He hasn't really been the leader as much tonight as he's been the lead pusher, but now he's got clean air, and he is going to have a lot of hungry competitors behind him.
Yeah, and this is going to be... You thought the last restart was crazy. We got... going to come to 10 to go here, come to the green flag, 11 to go actually, sorry. But this is going to be a crazy restart. All the teammates are going to be lined up on the bottom. All the teammates are going to be lined up on the top. There's going to be one wild card in there, and that's Michael Triscaro and William Scott as well. Cody got shuffled back there on that restart, but look for him to try and either get that third lane started with Braxton or try and get up to the start of the second line.
You said just what I was thinking. I was going to say, well, I think Braxton DeWeese might be one of the drivers, of course, not with the team here tonight. So he might be one of the guys that tries to go with Michael Triscaro. It looks like he's actually going to get in front of the 34 here. I think they're just moving some positions around. But after you have those 4 or 5 team trucks in the front, if you will, and by team trucks, I just mean they have teammates nearby. After that, it is a lot of guys, a couple handfuls maybe, of drivers that don't have any teammates nearby. So they're going to have to find guys to work with. And we very well might see a new winner here tonight, depending on who starts that third line.
Absolutely. No one took those 4 tires. I think only the front 8 took 2 on the left side. So those tires are going to be kind of worn, and that top line is going to roll for sure. If they can line up and push just as good as the guys up front. They got a good shot on the last lap. I mean, that finish at the stage, Cody almost had a shot to beat Steve there.
Taking a look at the weather, which is varying and dynamic sky here today. Looks like track temp has cooled off just a little bit by about a degree or so. But what you just saw a minute ago was the wind had actually varied up to about 11 miles per hour. I'm not sure if that was a glitch or what, but it looks like it is settling back down now. So that's not going to be a factor for these guys. And at this point, I think you still got to manage your temps for maybe another 7 or 8 laps before you can really start to think about pushing. But I don't think we're necessarily done with cautions just yet, as we have now had some trucks unfortunately retire from the race. Looks like Heath Job might be one of them. And man, you hate to see that. 88 was having a heck of a night. And just as we saw last week, he was proving that you don't really need teammates to make it work, but unfortunately his night comes to a close. All right, here we go. It's going to be 11 laps to go. Kevin Frey, Zachary Lima, followed by Dylan Jones, Steve Korsek, and then it's going to be Garrett Maines and William Scott. This is one of his best runs ever, William Scott, that is. And we'll see if maybe he thinks about that third lane. Watch for the 8 truck as well to jump out. Green flag is back in the air at Talladega.
And Davenport laid back there. It looks like he may let Triscaro up to the top if he communicates well with him, but it looks like Triscaro's not going to take any of it and stay on the bottom lined up. Looks like Larry got back out, and he's rounding out the back of the field. As you see Kevin hop up in front of Zach here, it's going to push the 2 teammates on the bottom up towards the front. Dylan Jones with Garrett Maines. Look for Lima maybe to hang out with Korsek. William Scott looking to go 3 wide. He dives down to the bottom, and they're lined up 2 by 2.
Larry McDonald is not out of this thing just yet. He's actually still on the lead lap, Baker. So if Triscaro gets in a wreck, he could very well still get it. We got one turned around. It's David Sheets. Does he hold on to it? He does somehow. Are you kidding me?
And who was that into? Michael Triscaro, and he's going back to Larry McDonald.
And Larry McDonald goes by. That's how quick things can change. And Michael Triscaro is going to lose the draft from this. This is not going to be good for the 34.
It's getting crazy up here. The teammates are lined up all in the middle lane and the top lane. Dale Cup up top, and in the middle it's going to be the Garrett Maines guys. Garrett Maines pushing Dylan Jones. Dylan Jones may drop down to the bottom. He's got Kevin behind him. We're 3 wide. That was crazy out of the tribal.
Oh, he gets into Lima, they're wrecking. Steve Korsek back down into Garrett Maines. Is this going to draw the caution? No, because they all save it again. We had one in the inside wall, but they all kept it straight. Oh, they're wrecking
again. Oh, my goodness.
Ron Morse Jr. this time into the inside wall. 10 laps to go. What is going on right now? William Scott looking like a man on a mission. He's up top with Dylan Jones.
William Scott, John Mollahan, Davenport, and Dylan Jones. I cannot believe those front 4 right now. I mean, you said it. You said they were going to get too close, and something was going to happen. And it's happening, but that second pack is latching on. That's Garrett Maines, Alex Hill, Ken McCullough. Where's he been all race? And Cody Nagels as well. Going to the top 3 wide. 3 wide as Cody's going to get the run here. He's pushed by Hill with McCullough behind him for Cody to clear down in front of William here.
And hoping these guys are maybe done wrecking. Oh, man, no, I'm telling you, this is about to get wild because you see the separation. He gets turned again. William H. Scott into the wall. Garrett Maines, is this one going to draw the caution? It doesn't. They are still green. What is happening right now? I can't my goodness. I can't even commentate the front because these guys continue to wreck. Now Braxton DeWeese is going to go around the 55 of Mike Davenport. He is looking to get by David Sheets as well up front. Cody Nagels has the lead. Sean Hill second. Dylan Jones third. And Ken McCall Jr. fourth.
And this is a 4-car breakaway right now. If they just stay in line, they keep it nice and steady, they're going to go around, and they're going to have to worry about the second pack crashing. I don't even know how many laps are left. What are we, 7 to go here?
Yeah, we're actually on 8 laps to go, but we're coming to 7 to go. But, you know, I was looking, Michael Triscaro was not that far behind Larry McDonald. Unfortunately, with his damage, he's not looking like he's going to catch unless we get a caution, which, you know, who knows right now, as crazy as things are. But Cody Nagel's still leading up front. I'm telling you, I don't think this 4-truck pack is going to be able to escape the grass. In fact, looking back, David Sheets is closing the gap, which right now is about 0.8 seconds, and that means they are in the draft, and they will be there shortly. And behind that pack, we got a couple more packs that are also looking to catch up. Sean English in the 60 truck. He is trying to get with these guys, and then after that, it's going to be Mike Davenport, the 92 of John Ward, and a couple others. Garrett Maines, looks like he's got pretty big damage. That truck may be terminally damaged in terms of having a shot at the win, but he's still going to have enough to get back up there. But I mean, we can't even. Oh, we got one blown up now. Sean Hill blows up. Oh, he's back up the track.
This has got to bring out the caution.
Now it finally brings out the caution as he goes back up. The 77 comes to a stop, and you know what? We needed a caution because I need a breather. I think everybody needs to figure out what's going on and collect themselves. That was the craziest sequence of events that I think I've ever seen here in Money Racing.
I can't believe cautions didn't come out. Well, I can't believe it. They went down to the apron. It was single car spins, but I mean, all the cars were checked up.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go back to the start of all this, and we're going to try to figure out, we're going to go through this step by step here because there's just so much going on. So let's watch the first thing. This is where the racing started to get really, really crazy between some of these guys. And I'll tell you what, William Scott almost caused a wreck right there, but he keeps it together because John Mullihan was giving him all he had. And then coming out of turn 2, this is where we're looking for that first incident. And there it was. Let's back that up and play it slowly for you. And did Steve get some help here? Let's see. It looks like... Oh, no. Dylan Jones off the front bumper. Garrett Maines, that push must have... Oh, yeah. You see the 31 just getting slightly offset to the right. And that is going to hook the 11 up the track. That's where he gets into Zachary Lima. He hits the outside wall. And then he's going to come back down here. He's lost control. This is where he takes out Steve Korsak. And quite a few. This is where they initially saved it. Unfortunately, the 27 did go into that inside wall. Everybody's going to gather it back up here initially, but look at it. They're going 4 and 5 wide. Everybody's dicing it up. And then we're about to see a second wreck. There goes Ron Morris Jr. That's where he's going to lose it. Looks like, does he keep it? Looks like he kept it off track. Yep, there he is on the apron. And then everybody's going to start to group back up here. I think we actually had ran a couple clean laps before things started to get crazy again. We're going to see some contact here between the 21 of William Scott. And I'm not sure who. That's what we're looking for now.
I just can't believe the teammate on teammate balance from Garrett to Dylan. He's pushing on the right side through the corner. I don't understand that. You got to relax. As soon as that wreck's happening behind, you got to really, really be patient there and start rolling.
And, you know, maybe part of that was just that the chaos and the wreck. But here we go. This is that second wreck that happens, and it's looking like here the 28 of John Mullihan goes up and gets into the 55 of Mike Davenport. That turns the 55 down into the 21, and that's what causes this wreck. And we had one going to the inside wall hard, one in the outside wall, and everyone else held on. And if you think they're done wrecking yet, guess what? They're not. And at this point, we're going to go back up now to Sean Hill. And this is going to be where that third and final incident is going to happen. You see they broke away here. I think they might have ran a lap or so before that 77 just got too hot. And looking at it, Baker, we're not quite getting ready to go green yet, are we?
No, not yet. People are coming out of pit road now. Looks like we're going to get the 1 to green here.
All right, so with 1 to green, next time we still have time to finish off this whole crazy sequence of events. That was absolutely insane, and I think it's going to be on this lap coming up right here. This And I'll tell you what, hold on, I just realized I was muted. I do apologize. Let me know how long I was muted in the chat, everyone. I do apologize. But I was going to say, looking at this battle here between Larry McDonald and Michael Triscaro, I think they're going to be lined up right behind each other. So let's go see if we can pull... Let's pull Larry in, because we did talk to Triscaro earlier, and see what his game plan is here. Hey, Larry, this is Austin and Baker up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, first of all, what a turn of events. You know, you get in front of Triscaro even with the damaged truck, but then the caution comes out, and now you're going to have to battle him a little bit more now that he has a clean truck. What's the game plan here on trying to hold him off?
You know, it sucks because I wasn't even going to race, just got things going on, but I decided to jump in, and my RPMs are down, so I'm going to have to probably throw a block or something, which I hate to do, but, I mean, just have to stay in front of him somehow.
All right, well, this is going to be exciting for us watching. Good luck, and we'll see what happens.
Yep, thanks a bunch.
And I'll tell you what, Baker.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you thought exactly what I'm thinking. He said, I might have to throw a block. We'll see how well that block goes over with Michael Triscaro, who is going to be starting at the end here. But, and real quick, I do want to mention one more time, if anybody out there is watching, when I went muted, let me know how long it was, because I actually could not tell this time. Normally I can tell, but we had a lot of chats. We actually have 37 people watching right now. I can't thank you guys enough for being out here. It looks like Bryce is in here. Normally we read your all's chats, but with Baker joining me in the booth tonight, we are keeping all the action towards the track, and the action is about to be insane. This is just about anybody's race if you're out on the track, and we have 22 of them out on track, actually 23, but that last truck, the 23rd truck, is sitting 2 laps down. In fact, that is Sean Hill, the man that we saw bring out that last caution. All right, here we go. Baker, who do you got your money on?
Oh, I have no idea. I see Garrett and Jason and Kevin with clean trucks on the bottom line. Look for them to hop up real quick. Lima's got a clean truck in the back. Steve's got a clean truck in the back. Pace car's going to pull down, and we're going to go green this time with 3 laps to go. This is going to be absolute mayhem. You've got covers and goers all day. You've got the slow runners that were in the back all day up front now, and you got the guys who've been dominating the race mid-pack. This is going to be a crazy restart.
The mix always makes for the craziest restart. Garrett and Jason are lined up. Watch for them, but here we go. Green flag is out for hopefully the last time here at Talladega. Braxton DeWeese got a good jump with Cody Nagels. And right now, Ken McCall Jr. is just waiting for help from David Sheets. Further back, there goes Steve Korsek trying to get that third line working already. But he's got a lot of ground to make up here in 3 laps. And I'll tell you what, we're going to try to switch the action here between Larry McDonald and Michael Triscaro. Here comes Triscaro on the bottom. Larry's not able to hold him off. There goes the 34 by. The 80's going to jump in line. And all he can do now is hope for the best. And does the 34 get a wreck or not? Back up front, Cody Nagels still leading the way to the outside. Here comes Sean English in the 60. He's got help from Ken McCall Jr. And David Sheets with damage sits third in the outside.
And they're going to be 2 by 2. I can't believe they're not 3 wide yet. They just don't have teammates. Garrett's going to back up, look to get a run to go 3 wide here, lead that top line. He's going to get Kevin in line. He's going to give a push. Lima's going to line up. He's going to go 3 wide. He's going to have Steve behind him. Look for 4 wide coming out of the try over here. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. They may get lined up and run as fast as they can here with 2 laps to go.
Well, if the heavy hitters that are currently running on the outside get back up here, we may see some more teammate games. This is the last lap for caution if we're going to get one, but hopefully everybody can keep it clean. How about the run right now from the 60, Sean English? He gets blocked. He has to move up the track to block Kevin Fraze, and Kevin is going to tuck in line behind and push. I thought maybe he'd go 4 wide, but no, he settles down. Braxton DeWeese leading the bottom, but that damage is really hurting the 8 truck. He falls tremendously, and now it's going to be who drops low. All 3 do.
He blocks. English blocks to the bottom. He saves it. Oh, they're going to wreck back behind.
Oh,
They're
there they
still
go.
wrecking.
They're all wrecking. Big wreck this time.
In it. Triscaro's in it.
Triscaro spins, and Larry, can he miss it? He does. He dodges the spinning Triscaro.
Oh, my goodness. Actually, he's still trying to dodge trucks, wrecking, and he makes it through clean.
Are you kidding me? We saw, man, oh, I thought they were going to get through it. They couldn't that time, and let's see how this one starts. It almost seemed like they initially were going to save it, but they could not quite hold on. And it looks like, so that this kind of starts a little bit on the backstretch here. The 8 of Braxton DeWeese, his truck was fine in the draft, but unfortunately that damage was really hurting him once he got out in front. You see they really, really are starting to fade here. The 45, I believe that is Sean Corbett, was pushing really hard here, trying to get the 8 to go somewhere. It's just not working. And up top, you're going to see the 03, Ken McCall Jr. and Cody Nagels. They are both going to get clear, and they're going to take it. But first, the 60 drops to the middle, Sean English. And when he slammed the door on Cody Nagels, I think that's when those two decides to go low. Cody sees Ken dropping low, and he says, not so fast. I'm going to follow you down here. Ooh, the 60 almost got turned here. Actually, that was the truck that went on the apron. So
Yep,
the 60
absolutely.
trying to get a late block. Is that what it looked like to you, Baker?
Yeah, it looks like Cody got to the inside, and Sean tried to block him down the track, and Cody was there. I wouldn't lift in that instance at all.
Oh, and then Ken McCall Jr. gets up, and Garrett Maines, who holds on. Wow, heck of a save. Further back, David Sheets in the 45. Did they net Cody here a little bit? Is that what that was? I'm trying to take a look.
It was a lot of stacks up, a lot of speed differences, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Boy, if it was net Cody, it was just slight, but I think there actually might have been contact. And then the 45 gets down into the 60, who also did a good job of initially saving it. And at this point, guys bouncing off. And, oh, man, Triscaro just barely got tapped in the left rear. He was so close to getting through it, but not quite. Let's see how much damage he takes here as you see everybody scatter. Now the wreck's on. The 14, the 02, the 7. Danny Barnes gets into it. Triscaro, I think that 02 of Richard Elliott might have saved him here because that kept him from going head on into the outside wall. But you see he's still getting banged up here by David Sheets. That back end takes a pretty hard shot. Like I said, the good news is Triscaro, I think, got saved from any massive hits to the outside wall on the front end. Remember, you can take quite a bit of damage in the back. You really don't want to have engine damage, so that's where it'll really start to hurt you. Let's take a couple more shots of this before we go back live here.
I just cannot believe the racing we're seeing today. It's a lot of fun to watch, a lot of chaos, a lot of really good racing before the stage, and a lot of chaotic racing after the stage.
And, you know, I'll tell you what, I know people get upset, especially some of the regulars in here, but this is kind of what you get when you get the newcomers, but I like it, right? Because it keeps things fresh. It doesn't keep the same guys up front. It almost becomes more of a race with those factors into it than just strictly being whoever's the most dominant winning, which I know is what everybody's out here to do, but we know that in real life super speedway racing, all these factors that are playing in tonight play into it.
Absolutely, and you know, I hate to say it, we talk about the people who were up front on that restart. Where are they at now? They're not in the field anymore. One of them made a late block, wrecked all the rest of them that were in the middle, and all of the cars that have been dominating all night are up front, besides Braxton, who is a great super speedway racer. I trust Cody and Ken to have a really good restart here on the bottom and challenge for that win with Garrett and Kevin.
And Michael Triscaro is still sitting in pits. This is very, very important that he gets out and doesn't go a lap down. At this point, it doesn't matter how much damage you have. You cannot go a lap down. If you go a lap down right now, I think your chances of beating Larry are over. And just as I say that, he is going to make his way out of the pits. And this will be interesting because both of those trucks are damaged. And we heard Larry say that he is down RPM. So we'll see how it plays out. But now it might be more of an even playing field for these two trucks. Michael Triscaro, on the other hand, did not get all his damage fixed. As it looks like, I was just trying to note some of these things. Braxton DeWeese, I believe he still has that front end damage. Oh yeah, sure enough he does. So, man, I think at this point, if you're that 8 truck, you're just going to have to stick in the draft and get the best finish you can, pushing somebody. But with Garrett Maines and Kevin Fraze being lined up top here, Cody Nagels on the bottom, don't look too far back. You'll find the 2 Dale Cup guys, the other 2 Dale Cup guys, Zachary Lima and Steve Korsak. So I think we might see some more games tonight.
Absolutely, and you saying Braxton stay in line is a funny statement because that's not going to happen. He's going to go for the win. He doesn't care how trash this truck is. He's going to try and get in that money spot, put himself in the best position to get a good cash spot, and he thinks he needs to be out front, and that's what he's going to try and do.
And let's see, you know what? I think since we just did I'm trying to find if there was one of these guys that I wanted to talk to here real quick, but just about everybody that's up for. Actually, we'll see if we can pull in Cody Nagels here just real quick. So I will be right back, and we'll see if we can get a word with him. All right, and I am here with Cody Nagels. Cody, got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're going to be leading the way here. Your 2 other Dale Cup teammates not too far back, but you're going to have to fend off Kevin Fraze and Garrett Maines. What's game plan?
Honestly, these kind of situations, I don't really try to have too much of a game plan. Just go where the runs are and just get myself in the cash, and hopefully it's a top 3. But nothing crazy. Just go with the runs.
All right, well, you guys are getting ready to go, so we'll let you go. Thanks for talking to us, Cody. Good luck.
Thank you.
Oh.
All right, and Cody's saying that he's, not going to do anything crazy here, just trying to get himself a money spot. Of course, Dale Cup does split the money, so we'll see how things pan out. All right, Baker, this is going to get wild. This is our first attempt at overtime. We can't do it again, and speaking of the rules of overtime, if they take the white flag, then we will not have any more cautions, even if the whole field wrecks. It's whoever gets that thing started back up and going. But if they wreck on the first lap and we get a caution, then we'll rack them up and do it again. Looking for the gap here, Triscaro has quite a bit of ground to make up if he wants to get to Larry McDonald. But I've seen crazier things happen, so we'll try to keep an eye on all of it. But it's going to get wild. It's going to get crazy. And we are going to have a big winner here tonight. Kevin Fraze rolling into the trial bowl. The pace car pulls off. Cody Nagel's on the bottom. Garrett Maines and Ken McCall Jr. make up row 2. Braxton DeWeese in the 17 up top in the third row. That's 17. Not sure exactly what it is yet, but green flag is back out. That's Art Greco. Oh, we had one jump out of line. That's Jason Maines. And not sure if there was a checkup. I think there was with the 17. And as they dive into turn 1, they're going to stay side by side up front.
2x2, even pushes back and forth. Ken is the best non-teammate you want behind you pushing. He will push anyone in front of him to try and get you and himself clear to get to that good money spot.
And they're going to go 3 wide up top. There goes Jason Maines and Dylan Jones. Garrett Maines, Kevin Fraze, Zachary Lima. He really wanted to jump out, but he waited too long, and now he's not going to be able to. Larry McDonald's starting to fall. Michael Triscaro, he's going to have one more lap to do it if he can. And that's what we're going to keep an eye on out back. But up front, they still stay 2x2. I don't think we'll see anybody go 3 wide unless Lima can get clear. And he's got to go now, but he can't do it. So we're going to try this thing one more time. Here comes the white flag.
As the white flag is going to fly, they're going to make it here. They are looking 3 wide. The Maines boys are in the best position here. Ken's giving a great push with Braxton tucked up behind him. Look for that third lane to roll here. Maybe Garrett pulls out a line. I don't know if he will, though. I think Cody would go up to the middle as soon as that happens.
And they still stay 2x2 in those first 2 rows. Now the third line is finally getting up there. They have 5 trucks. This could be a photo finish at the line if they can keep it clean. Larry McDonald is going to be able to hold off Michael Triscaro as long as he doesn't get in any incident. But now it's a matter of who can get the win. David Sheets, does he think about making a 4th lane? Dylan Jones, can he push Jason to the win? And does Garrett Maines get clear? Kevin is right on his door. Big side draft here. Final time down the front stretch. Into the trial where we go. It's going to get crazy here coming down to the line. And they're wrecking out back. Big wreck. Braxton DeWeese is in it, but up front, blocked by Kevin Fraze. It's going to be enough. Kevin Fraze wins it at Talladega.
A great finish. Maines guys executed there well on the restart. Dale Cup boys were a little trapped on the bottom and up top. I think Lima needed to hop up to that third lane and see if Jason would give him a push, but I don't think he trusted him enough to really hop up there and give him a run for his money.
And also, real quick to note, before we forget it, of course, Larry McDonald beat Michael Triscaro, so he is the winner of the rivalry battle, but that rivalry might not be over. We heard they might do some more qualifying stuff. Either way, the winner tonight, Kevin Fraze, and you see the profile picture, my favorite one here, it's Ted, but he's going to burn this thing down. He's going to be pretty happy. Jason Maines, heck of a comeback, too, as he is going to finish 2nd tonight. Cody Nagel's 3rd, Garrett Maines 4th, and Dylan Jones 5th. We're going to try to get interviews from your top 3, but until then, we will watch Kevin burn this thing down. And we have found your top 3. We're going to start first with 3rd place finisher Cody Nagels. Cody, you got a copy?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we bring home 3rd in one of the craziest races that I think me and Baker have seen in a while. First of all, coming down to the end there, we saw a big wreck out back, and then we saw Kevin throw a block. Was there anything else you could have done to maybe have a shot at the win?
I think really the only chance I had, because I knew it was more than likely going to be one from the second lane. I was looking to go up to the second lane on the entry of one on the restart, but Kevin having was starting in front of me. I knew it was going to be difficult. So there was no opportunity there. So I figured that, with Garrett pushing, I probably didn't have much of a chance. The only chance I had is if Kevin went down to go seal it off, I could just give him a bump and try to get him loose, but I wasn't going to wreck him. But, yeah, just like I said, gave him a little bit of a bump, but it wasn't enough. It's just one of them things. I'm not willing to wreck a guy for a win, and I'm happy with third.
All right, well, third is certainly a pretty good finish here tonight. Going to be bringing home a lot of money. Unfortunately, it looks like the Dale Cup teammates just finished outside the money, but either way, good run. Before we let you go, is there anyone you want to thank or shout out tonight?
Yeah, Austin, got to thank you at Ghost Racing Network. Appreciate all you do. Got to thank PGR, Triscaro putting on a good race as always. Was able to help you call the race last week, and glad I was able to run it tonight. And lastly, but definitely not least, I got to thank my Dale Cup teammates. It's always a pleasure to run with them.
All right, and we certainly enjoyed having you last week as well. Cody, thanks for talking to us, and congrats on third place finish.
Thank you.
And now we're going to see here if we can pull in your second place finisher. I know we were looking for him, but it looks like he has joined in here. Matthew Baker's with him now.
Got a copy?
What's up, brother?
Oh, it looked like you biding your time before the stage break. You pushed the stage, almost the stage winner, to the win with Cody, and then you bided your time towards the end of the race, and you guys executed on that restart perfectly. You got the middle line and top line rolling. Tell me how you got it done.
Lucky. You know it. Missed a few wrecks here and there, and missed the circumstances, and at the end you put yourself in position to win, and then you execute as a team, and have some more luck, and that's how it worked out.
Absolutely. I mean, in the middle of that race, we were shouting and screaming, hooting and hollering. It was a ton of fun to watch. I know it may have not been fun from y'all's perspective in the driver's seat, but oh my goodness, it was a fun broadcast to put on. Any sponsors or teammates you want to thank?
Well, I got to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Everything we do is for him. That's why we're here. I want to thank Lennox Industries, Bradley Mechanical, Ryko, and Dylan for one heck of a push there. Kevin and Garrett and Sean worked with him some tonight. Great job just communicating. You know what it's about, and worked out well. Congrats to Kevin and all of us, Cody, Dylan, Garrett. It was a great race, and thank you for jumping in doing a dual broadcast. I'm going to go back and listen to it because I know I want to listen to y'all hoot and holler.
Oh man, and when Garrett got into Dylan in the middle line, leading the middle line, I had about lost I said teammate violence. It was a lot of fun to watch, but great run and a good finish for your team there.
Thank you, buddy. I'll see you.
All right, and now we're going to drag in your winner tonight, and that is Kevin Fraze. Kevin, you got a copy?
Yeah. How you doing, Austin?
I'm good. Well, that was one of the craziest races me and Baker have called in a while. I think I'm going to need a couple days to recover my voice, but you got the win, and you're going home with a good amount of money tonight. Seemed like you were the pusher early, but once you took the lead late, was there any going back?
Whatever it took to get one of the guys on the team the win there at the end. That was a really fun, interesting race there. It was unfortunate that wreck. I really want to go back and look at that one. That got, I think, just about all of us up front. But it also gave us a chance to go in, not have to worry about green-white checkers if that had to happen. And then Garrett and I were able to get hooked up and go to the front. It was unfortunate what happened to Sean right there. I'm not really sure what did actually happen. But yeah, it was a fun race tonight.
Well, on that one caution, Alex did indeed blow up. But another thing I want to ask you about is we kind of call them, I guess, teammate games, if you will. You can call them what you want. But when we saw you guys up front and it was you versus the Dale Cup guys, of course, you, Garrett Maines, and Jason Maines. But what do you do when it's just you and you have a whole group of Dale Cup guys behind you? Do you try to block, or do you just try to hold a lane until you get your teammates behind you?
You're just doing all you can. I mean, I've raced with those guys for a couple years now, and it's always a fun battle. You got to definitely bring your A game and expect the unexpected, but it's always a blast to be able to share the track with those boys. And we were all throughout that race just trying to figure out the track temp was a little high, what we had to do to manage temps, like working the line a little bit in terms of where you cooled, where you pushed, and then when it got 3 wide, you throw all that out the window, of course. But luckily, Garrett was able to manage his temps there at the end. Perfect, just for me to be able to maintain the lead and then go down in front of Cody there to ensure the win for the team. It was a fun run.
Well, you came out dominated tonight, and we are used to seeing it. Before we let you go, though, is there anyone you want to thank? Shout out.
Yeah, huge shout out to you and Matt for putting on the broadcast. You guys definitely had a couple wrecks there, definitely to analyze. With Sean blowing up in the middle of the pack. I'm sure that was interesting. And that whole, I think, 2-lap sequence there where I think about half the field decided it was a good idea to wreck at some point without a caution. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But it was also a great night running with the boys, Jason, Garrett, Dylan, and we had Sean with us tonight. And shout out to Cody on getting that P3 there at the end. And great pushing by Kenny to keep him up there.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to us, and congrats on the win.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You as well. All right. Before we let everybody go, let's go over your final results for tonight. Finishing first tonight is going to be Kevin Fraze. Second, Jason Maines. Third, Cody Nagels. Fourth, Garrett Maines. And rounding out that last money position is going to be Dylan Jones. Ken McCall Jr. 6th. Zachary Lima 7th. 8th, Steve Korsek. 9th, Richard Elliott. 10th, Braxton DeWeese.
And in 11th, you've got Larry McDonald. He won the battle with Michael Triscaro. David Sheets in 12th. Mike Davenport, PGR guy, in 13th. Sean English in 14th. Good recovery after putting that late block down to the bottom. William Scott had a great run all night. Sad he couldn't get up into the money spot, but still, nonetheless, a really good run for him. P15. Jordan Adams, new guy out here, P16. Art Greco in 17. Michael Triscaro on the bottom half of that, P18. And you got Danny Barnes in 19th. John Mollahan in 20th. And Jack Hignite in 21st after a great run from him, first car lap down.
And moving back to 22nd, it's going to be Sean Corbett, 23rd, Sean Hill, 24th, John Ward, 25th, Ron Morris Jr., 26th, Philip Wilkinson, 27th, Jeff Merck, 28th, Danny Escherman, Heath Job, 29th, 30th, David Drohan, and the last truck tonight, the guy that did not start the race, I don't believe, was Evan Larson in the 32 truck. Well, it was definitely one of the craziest races we've seen in a while. We had a lot of people out here watching, and we appreciate every single one of you guys out here. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, feel free to leave us a like. Check out the Discord if you're new, and make sure to follow if you like what you're seeing. Well, before we do leave everybody off, we know we'll be back next week, Baker, but what are the takeaways from tonight?
It's crazy. Talladega is crazy, and we've got a lot of really good racers in the series. If you're looking to get into a money series, this is the one to get in right now. It's a lot of fast drivers up front, a lot of chaos. You got a chance to win early, but you got to get around those mains, boys, and you got to get around Dale Cup.
All right. Well, you just said just about everything I had to say as well, so that'll do it for us tonight. From Matthew Baker and Austin Green on Ghost Racing Network, we'll see you next time.